Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here and welcome back to Aurora Park. Alright, so this episode we are working mostly on the monorail station here in this dome, which is Corvall Station Delta, which if you remember the other two stations, it's Corvall Station Alpha and Beta. This one's Delta. You may notice if you watched the last episode, you're like, wait a minute, there's a lot more done here than what I saw in the last episode. That's because I actually streamed this prior to this episode. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, Josh, you haven't released a Aurora Park video in 2 weeks and you're streaming it? I know, I'm sorry. It's fun to stream. With that being said, if you're not watching me over on Twitch, I think you should. We've been having a lot of fun doing a lot of Planet Coaster. Obviously, I do Aurora Park occasionally. Lately, I've been doing mostly my Temple of Doom ride, just trying to get that completed and re-uploaded to the workshop. But yeah, usually I stream on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and then Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So, if you're not in Eastern Time, you can try and, you can figure out what that is in your time zone. But yeah, so basically, this episode just kind of detailing out the building. Clearly I made it's the same layout as the other buildings, but I wanted to make it more open instead of completely enclosed. I just thought, being that it's inside of a dome, it would just look a little bit, I don't know. One, it would just be a little different, but just look cooler, and I don't know. I think it just fits better with it being open rather than completely enclosed like the other ones are. And yeah, I think it worked out well. And I like the little overhang thing that kind of slopes upwards, and then with the red supports there. I just think it gives it a nice little vintagey touch. And then obviously adding like some of those billboards there, the paintings, which look super cool and they're super detailed and super high quality. So like, why not use them? And then let's see, trying to think like, yeah, that, this area is called Atropa Gardens, like the whole domed area. So, obviously we're using a lot of, flowers and bushes and just trying to make everything look really just lush and green, especially just, because the rest of the park isn't basically, and it's, that, yeah, pretty much that. And I'm looking at those little fences I just put on the walkway there, the stairway going up, and I'm just thinking like, those aren't very good. They're super easy to just walk over. I may change those to like a different fence or barrier of some kind that's a little bit taller, because you could easily just trip over that and you just fall right down. We don't want that. We don't want our guests falling down, do we? No, we don't. But yeah, so here just adding some lights, and I actually add quite a bit of lighting in this dome because I think it looks especially cool at night, especially with that kind of orange yellowish glow that those lights provide. And then I add some of the new street lights here, and there's two of them that came in the vintage pack, and I mean, they're both really cool looking, and they're obviously super high detailed, but the other one gives off more of like a white light, whereas this one I'm using here is, you can see it's more of like an orangish kind of yellowish glow, and I just think that sort of fits better with this whole area. I mean, that's what I did in the other dome as well. So, it just, I don't know, it just gives it like a better, I don't know, classier maybe? I don't know if that's the right word I'm using. And then with the fences here, and actually sort of a continuation, like the idea is a continuation of what we used in the other dome, where I'm using these vintage fences, and then I just put some flowers and stuff around them, just to, again, trying to, convey the whole area that, it's supposed to be like a gardeny kind of area. and I think that worked out pretty well. Here I was trying to get it like duplicated at the same angle that the stairwell wasn't working or going, but it wasn't working when I selected everything, so I kind of had to just like do each piece individually, because I don't know, for some reason the game is very finicky that way. Sometimes it works the way you want it to, and other times it doesn't, and those times it doesn't, you just kind of have to roll with it and do what you can. But yeah, kind of going back to the streaming, I was saying, you know, if you haven't followed me over on Twitch, you should. It's just twitch.tv/8bit_Josh. The link is always down in the description, so, you know, you can always just click on that and it'll take you right there. But yeah, you should definitely come check us out on, you know, those streams, especially because I do a lot of Planet Coaster. So if you're, you know, obviously if you're watching this series, you're a fan of the game, so I think you'd have a good time. You know, by the time when I'm actually recording this, I'm not quite an affiliate yet. I'm getting there, and I'm just kind of starting to think about, like, you know, what kind of perks I want to give for, you know, anyone who decides to sub, and just really anybody who, you know, anyone who just really kind of follows me for a while. You know, I'm just thinking of ways I can, you know, include like loyalty points and, you know, different just like little, I don't know, like kind of like, hey, thanks for following me, or thanks for subbing to me, here's something for you kind of thing, you know, perks and things like that. So, yeah, I've been having fun just kind of thinking of different things like that. I have some ideas. As I get closer, I may actually on a stream, kind of talk about it with my viewers, because obviously, you know, these are things that I'm going to be doing for you guys as viewers. So again, another reason to go follow me over on Twitch, so, you know, you can take part of that conversation, and, you know, you guys can sort of help shape what, you know, those perks and different things are going to be. You know, when you're on Twitch, when you have subs, you have like the emotes, which are just, you know, the custom emojis for your channel. I have some ideas for those myself, but again, because these are things that'll be for you, the viewer, you know, I want your guys' input, because this will be, you know, what you're gonna be getting with your sub money, should you choose to sub to my channel, that is. But yeah, so like, I've been doing my Temple of Doom ride quite a bit on the stream, and one reason I've been doing that a lot is because I do want to get it finished, because I want to start a new park, and being that we're getting into like the Halloween season, I want to do like a Halloween, like spooky themed park. And so again, that would be super fun to have all of you who are maybe not viewers over on Twitch to join in, and especially when it gets into the spooky season, because it'll be a lot of fun using like the new spooky pack. And we all know about every 3 months they come out with a new DLC, and it'll be right around Halloween time that the next one comes out. We don't know what it is yet. It probably won't be another spooky one, because that's what they did last year. That was actually the very first DLC Frontier released for Planet Coaster. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, just because the time of year, it's like, I don't know, maybe they'll expand like the holiday like base theme that they have in the game, or I think they call it festive actually. But yeah, that's that. So like I said, if you're not following me over on Twitch, click the link down in the description and give me a follow. And then here again, just, you know, doing more of the fences and the, you know, flowers, and I just grabbed them all and copied them and dragged them to the other side of the pathway, because it actually just worked out that way, even though there's like a little bit of a curve. And then here I was like, you know, I wasn't going to do anything in the little space between the wall and the path, but the more I looked at it, I was like, it looks weird with that little patch of green grass. So I decided to, just bring the fence over to that side of it, and I think it helped out a lot. It looks really cool, like when you look down the pathway and you have the flowers and bushes and things on each side. Especially like when you'll see a few shots where it's at night, just because I'm looking at the lighting and seeing how that looks. Because obviously that was one of my goals, from the beginning of the series, is to have a large focus on the lighting. Even though like in these videos we don't see the park at night very often, just because you don't build at night really. You play the game during the day when you're building because it's just easier to see. And obviously when you're watching as a viewer, you don't want to watch an episode in the dark. It's just, you don't want to do that. But occasionally you'll see like little spots where I switch it to nighttime so I can check out the lighting. And once this park is actually released and you can download it from the workshop, you can download it and play with it, and you can check it out at night, and hopefully it looks really cool. And like right there, I think it looks great. And I decided, even though I have those little archways, to still add the lampposts, because it just added, it needed just a little bit of extra light. And I think between the arches and the lampposts, it looks really, really cool. I love that just kind of glowy orange yellow look it has. And then also here on the roller coaster, which also, by the way, in the live stream, I had asked my viewers to come up with the name for it, because I realized we didn't have a name for the roller coaster, and I wanted something sci-fi sounding but like vintage retro sounding. So the name we went with was the Blue Invader, because it's a blue roller coaster, and I thought that sounded like sci-fi but kind of vintagey at the same time. But I wanted to add these like little light strands, because even though they don't actually give off like a light source, I still think it looks really cool, like just kind of having them hanging across the beams there. Just adds that little bit of, a little extra touch, I guess you could say, to the look, especially when you're seeing it at nighttime. It looks kind of magical, and I don't know, it's fun. I like it. I know at another point I had a sign to the ride, because I realized, hey, we need a sign for the ride so the guests know what it is, right? Right. So yeah, just again, more fences, and lot of time spent like just kind of, you see me like where like I don't do anything for a few seconds, which in real time it's a few seconds in this video, but in real time it was probably a few minutes, because I actually this is about sped up about 4 times that, so it's about 4 times real time speed. But so let's read comments on the last episode. Again, the always reliable Shane Essery. He says, "Oh man, so I am watching this at work and I'm thinking to myself, some people are just better Planet Coaster builders than others. My stuff hardly ever turns out this good. That pink is spot on too. Good job again." Well, thank you, sir. I'm glad that you find my building to be pretty good. I'm sure your stuff turns out good too. He says the pink is spot on too. I think he's actually talking about those beams right there that you see. Which I looked back, I was like, they do kind of look pink in the video. They're actually like a bright red, but like in daytime view, like they do kind of look pinkish, I guess. But yeah, they're actually red. But yeah, thanks Shane for the comment and checking out my videos as always. I know Shane has stopped by our live streams at least once, I think. I know he's dropped in for a little bit. So again, another reason to go follow me over on Twitch, because you can hang out with me and Shane. Sometimes Shane's been in there a few times, but anyway, so yeah, there's the sign, which again is another sign from the Vintage DLC. So you see I call it the Blue Invader, which I realize now looking at, I use that like dark blue color. I was like, well, I don't know why I didn't use the same blue that the roller coaster is. So I'll have to change that later. But what I'm doing is that sign is wooden, and in the middle I was like, I don't really like the wood color. It looks too orangey. So I was trying to find like a better natural wood color, but I just couldn't find anything. So I just changed it back to the default. Like it just looks too orange to me, I guess. But you know, and then a couple little ropes to hang it because you don't want it floating. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And then you know what am I doing? Oh yeah, so I I made this because it is a Tropa Gardens. I decided to make like a really large, just like flower bed. So I copy these flowers, and then I add some of the kind of like that roundish purpley kind of flower. And then I just grabbed a whole bunch of them and like copy and paste them, and it looks pretty good filled out. Yeah, just copying all the flowers, and I drag them over, and you're like, I know they're going through the queue there, but I do delete them right here, you know. But it was just easier to copy and paste everything rather than just trying to place each flower that many times individually. It just worked out better, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I just like how it's all filled in and looking very flowery. I imagine it smelled like really good in there, you know, with all those flowers, and then it's just in a dome, so everything is like it's all enclosed, right? So it's just like would probably smell really, really good in there. And then you get like the wafts of like, I don't know, French fries and hot dogs and stuff. But there's actually there are no food stalls in this dome, and I don't know that I am gonna put one in. Maybe there is room underneath the monorail station that we could put a food stall in there. Maybe a restroom. I know the other dome does have a restroom, and it does have a food stall as well. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll need one. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. So yeah, next episode, hopefully. I realized like there's a lot of work going into this dome. I didn't think it would take like multiple videos, but it has, and it's still not even complete. There's still work to do. And we have the other dome where the rest of the roller coaster goes in. So yeah, we still have a lot of work, but you know, that's good. It means plenty more content for you guys. So be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, feedback down below. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and then you hit the little bell icon underneath as well. And then yeah, don't forget to follow me on Twitch. So yeah, I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.